Off! Greetings, Internet. I hope everyone is doing well. Today, we have a situation. But to understand why we have situation, we have to go back and talk about other situation that leads to this situation. Alright? Some time ago, I made a video about Aion pay to win, and people were upset and mad. And that will be it, because I don't give a fuck. But I got a message by some high-profile Sturmers. Mr. Kira from Kira TV channel has arrived and questioned wizard prowess. So I have accepted his challenge and we start discussion. Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Fireball, 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 Magic Missile, Magic Missile, Piker Lightning. I am giving so much power and so much spells were casted towards him. Maximum. And zero damage. Zero damage. And while I'm having standoff with Mr. Kira, I'm preparing Inferno! Because he's like a tank, zero damage. Okay, so we have to go for atomic nuclear option. And while I'm preparing my spell, there is new challenger approach on my private message. And I read the message and it is Cannon the Destroyer. Conclusion that have emerged from this confrontation TLDR is: content creators should collaborate together. We should stand together and push against any form of bullshit pay to win. The dick is on the horizon. We should immediately strangle the bitch. We should inform our audience and try to push back against it. And I have to agree with their sentiment. Aion 2 monetization shenanigans are concerning. However, I am not here to get mad. I am here to win. So time for masks off, and I will reveal Wizard evil plan how to win. But first we have to face the reality. And the reality is no one gives a fuck. I am trying to fight pay to win bullshit in games for like decade now. Over thousands and thousands billion years through the human history, we develop a triad that make us numb or resistant to repeatable impulses. Let me give you an example. So you live in a house, and next to your house there is a train. Choo choo. Every like 5 or 6 hours train comes through. And like first month or two, it may annoy you, but then later, 6 months to a year later, you don't even hear the train. Your brain is ignoring it. Same thing happened to monetization. No one wants shitty pay-to-win games, but it's getting worse and worse and worse. Every year, new ways to stick dick into your ass. And people just hear pay-to-win, trash game, pay-to-win, shitty game, don't play it, pay-to-win. And they just build resistance. No one gives a fuck anymore, and it is what it is. Getting outraged about the dual premium not gonna do shit. You can compare this situation to retards that block the road and chant, "Free, free Palestine!" And then you come to one of those individuals and you ask them, "Hey, but where is the Palestine? Show me on map." Gaming is no longer in hands of gamers. Gaming is in hands of Walmart Americans and Tesco Europeans. Your average dude that you meet next to the meat section. At stage 1 of the operation, we have to establish, is this game good enough to even fight it for? If the game is shit, who gives a fuck? It's a waste of energy. Because we are going against unholy alliance. One side, corporate infinite greed that want to suck you so no dollar left, and the other side, people with questionable IQ levels that can be hoodwinked with Mr. Beast AI video telling them, "Hey, you just won a Lamborghini, please send email and $10 to this address to pick up your car. At stage 2, we have to gather the intel how this corporation NCSoft wants to activate all milking protocols and suck players dry. Here is like distilled down from 3 hours of talk, their financial meeting with the investors from Goldman Sachs or BlackRock, that they discuss how they're gonna our private parts.
안녕하십니까. 주식회사 NC소프트 IR실 이장욱입니다.
Good morning, everyone. This is Jason Lee, head of IR at NCSoft. Thank you for participating in the NCSoft earnings conference call.
As I have previously mentioned, we've been proactively discussing M&A opportunities to expand into new genres and the global mass market with tangible results expected soon.
And there are 7 IPs currently in the product pipeline to be launched by next year. And as for the legacy IPs, there are, of course, regional expansions planned for legacy IPs, but also 3 new titles that will be developed based on these legacy IPs. But among this number, Aion 2 will take account of half of the sales mix. We will continue to expand the value of our legacy IPs in 2026 through regional expansion, through the release of Lineage M and Lineage 2M in China and Lineage W in Southeast Asia.
So they're planning global expansion and then gonna release multiple shitty games, probably half of them gonna be mobile for casuals. Who give a fuck? What it have to do with Aion 2? Ha! Aion 2 roll comes now.
As our flagship mmorpg Aion 2 has kicked off marketing activities ahead of its launch in Korea and Taiwan in Q4, anticipation is gradually building around the title's success.
Aion 2, we are confirming the confidence within our company and externally. And just like Squid Game on Netflix has garnered a huge popularity within the global audience, and that led to the interest in the Korean content, we believe that if Aion 2 acquires a lot of attention and good feedback from global audiences, we believe that this will positively impact our games that will be released next year.
Among this number, Aion 2 will take account of half of the sales mix. And another purpose is to expect a viral effect, as we're confident about the quality of this game.
You hear them. Aion 2 apparently will be extremely good, and its hype and positive reaction to the game will be used to push more games in 2026 that they plan pipeline. But some investors are not really convinced by their words.
Hello, thank you for taking my question. My name is Taemin An from NH Securities. And regarding Aion 2, how is this game different from our existing legacy IPs? And what kind of business models or monetization scheme does it have? And also in the MMORPG market, there has been some negative reputation regarding lineage-like games. And how does Aion 2 plan to address these negative?
페이툰 요소가 완전히 없는 것은 아니지만 통상 생각하는 그런 리니지 라이크와 같은 게임은 아니다라고 생각해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
And as such, you cannot expect to apply a lineage-like monetization scheme early on in the game. And since this is a game that is targeting the global market and global launch, it will have, of course, some pay-to-win elements, but it would not be like any other lineage-like games.
다음으로 질문해 주실 분은 골드만 삭스의 에릭 차 님입니다.
The following question will be presented by Eric Cha from Goldman Sachs.
True that Aion 2 will have the most importance among this mix because it's frankly difficult for new IPs to scale in the market situations right now. And also, as for LLL, since it's a shooter game, the competition is fierce in this space. And considering the characteristics of MMORPGs, business models or monetization schemes have a large impact on users. As for TL, it was difficult to sustain the retention. And the reason why retention is important is because although TL recorded high traffic and high sales in the beginning, it wasn't able to sustain that. So even if a game reaches a sales goal, if the retention does not keep up, this might have an additional impact.
라는 정도를 말씀드릴 수 있겠습니다.
And as for retention, it's difficult to provide an accurate prediction of retention, but considering the fact that when Aion, the original title, was released, it recorded #1 in PC Bongs for a consecutive 160 weeks, which means that the game itself has a lot of high retention elements. And in Aion 2, we aim to inherit those elements and build on those elements. And in other words, there are a lot of elements that are different from existing mmorpgs, as the Aion 2 will inherit the spirit of Aion. And when you reverse calculate the royalties that we receive through TL after its launch, the global TL sales for 1 year was, I think, more than 400 billion won. And this is not including Korea and Taiwan. But as for Aion 2, since we're more confident about TL and it has a lot of more content that is different from existing mmorpgs, we believe you can assume some retention based on those figures.
다음으로 질문해 주실 분은 삼성증권의 오동환 님입니다.
The following question will be presented by Dong Won-oh from Samsung Securities. Please go ahead with your question.
설명 부탁드리겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you for the opportunity. I have one question. We noticed that the communication of Aion 2 has been mostly positively well received. So, but as an analyst, it is quite difficult for us to assume sales and profits if we don't have any visibility into your business model directions. And I believe that for your previous games, the feedback has been very positive on the gameplay side, but there have been some negative feedback over the business models. So for the users who watched the live streams for Aion 2, they also expressed their concerns over the business models. And I fully understand that there could be some dilemma balancing between user experience and profitability. But I was wondering if you could give us more opportunities to know more details about your monetization schemes. And I was wondering if you could, I was wondering if for the user experience and profitability, would that can go hand in hand together. So far, that I believe that wasn't the case for NCSoft, but I was wondering what's your stance and impression over this relationship. But I want to emphasize today that Aion 2 is more focused on PvE and dungeon content, and that is different from the PvP-focused lineage-like games. And also, we are fully aware that many users are concerned about our business model, but I want to reiterate that there will be no gachas. And in August, in our live stream in August, we mentioned about the battle pass, customization, and skins, and these will be our priorities. And although there could be some elements of P2W content and monetization scheme involved in Aion 2. And for your second question, I think that's the most important question, which was about the relationship between user experience and profitability. And for this question, I think I want to emphasize the profitability graph. So far, we've focused on heavy business models, which means that we see very high sales and revenue and user indicators at the beginning of the launch, and then we couldn't make the retention rates go further in the long-term perspective. But as we discussed with our development team and business team, we want to have a business model that can extend our PLC and extend our user base for the long-term perspective. So all in all, when we have a lot of user base in the game, we think that even with the lighter BM, the sales will increase. But if we don't have enough user base, that would also disrupt our sales. So we have to consider all of these factors together. So at the end of the day, we want to emphasize that we will avoid the profitability graph that will show the highest retention rate, and then highest indicators, and then we can't move on to the retention rates going forward. So we will have the opposite approach.
TLDR, we're going with Aion Soft. We piggyback some games using it positive sentiment, and then we crank the pay to win to 11. The soul will be sucked from all those fuckers. And this is where our fight starts. Because NCSoft will dispatch the Shilling Commando.
Since last year, there have been many changes. It's more our marketing strategies and budget has been determined. And since currently there are various new platforms, different from the past, there is less need to focus on large brand marketing. For instance, for PC, you have Steam. For mobile, we have Google and iOS that are more optimized. And it's important to focus on how to leverage these platforms well. We also have streamers and Discord. So likewise,
to counter their powers, I have to go to Taiwanese server, play the game, understand all of its mechanics, find the worst pay-to-win scenario, the worst case, like $10,000, $20,000, make a spreadsheet, make the hourly requirement for non-pay-to-win player, and then you then you shoot with it. Aion 2, $10,000 whale against top Final Fantasy XIV rider. This horse is pay to win and it takes 1,000 hours to farm. Gish. Those are the titles that will leak through the cracks into mainstream. Mainstream will talk about it because it's shocking news. It creates emotion. This is how you do damage. €50 dual battle pass, no one gives a fuck. People are spending 200, €250 to pull gacha character right now every month. Rising speculative alarms will only give ammunition to Shield Commando. The battle pass is not actually €50, it's €30. You know, guys, don't believe in Aion 2 best game. Come on, let's go. Best game ever. We will pump it for the next 10 years. Ha! That's my opinion on this topic. I hope you understand my point of view. Hopefully, the molding campaign will not be necessary and we will enjoy the game without any stress or disturbances. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching. If you want more, there is Twitch and Kick where I'm storming sometimes. Everyone inside, everyone need to be inside. Don't die one by one. Why you are dying? Podas! Why you are there? Podas, kurwa, back to circle! And that's it from the Wizard for today. I wish everyone amazing day. Wizard out. Puff!